Hi, welcome back to my channel. I am Leo's Harmony, and today we're actually looking at dreams. So we're looking at messages that your dreams might be trying to tell you that maybe you don't really notice or you forgot. And we have three different piles here to choose from. This will determine your overall message from your dream, but then we'll take a look at tarot and other oracle cards to maybe give us more information. So you can go ahead and pick your pile, and we will go ahead and get started. Hi, Pile 1, welcome to your reading. You got the Initiate. So for this card, I wanted to read a little bit from the guidebook, and then I'll go ahead and pull some more oracle cards to give us more information. So for the Initiate, it says, sitting in a circle of stones, the dreamer sees what visions will come to her within the dream. Lucidly, she is initiated into a new level of spiritual maturity and awakens to the messages for the upcoming chapter of her life. She is ready to step towards her destiny with clarity. And a couple keywords here are initiation, seeking answers, spiritual maturity, and rite of passage. So it seems like this card is really dealing with something beginning for you, but more so spirituality. And it's pretty much like you're gonna attain a new, it's kind of like a spiritual awakening, you know? It's like you're awakening something new within you and you're kind of like starting something. Um, Let me get the other oracle cards and then we can pull a few more cards out. Let me move this here. Okay. Seems like this card kind of wants to come out. So your first card is Metamorphosis. It says power and strength lie within our surrender to change. I think one is fine from this deck. I did want to pull a couple cards from an animal deck that I have. And I know that sometimes, not everyone has spirit guides that are animals, but I thought it would be like an overall good message. Your first card is called Hedgehog. It says Manifestation. Let's get a couple more. You got Dog, and it says Loyalty. Let's do one more. Then you got Starfish with Patience. So it seems like maybe um, this new beginning for you is something that you've been wanting for a while. It's something that you've been manifesting. Um, with Metamorphosis, it's kind of like a change is happening within you, and you kind of have to surrender to that change. With Manifestation here, definitely something that you've been wanting. Loyalty and patience, it's something that you've been waiting for as well, but also um I feel like with the loyalty card, it's kind of saying to your guides, like, yeah, I've been waiting for this. I've been wanting this for a while. I trust you guys, and I'm ready for this change. So it's kind of like you being loyal to your guides and trusting them in the process. And I think that's a really good starting message here. But I'm gonna pull some tarot, and then maybe we'll get more information from that. So I'll be right back. Okay, pile two, welcome back. So you got the Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the Two of Swords, the Five of Cups, and the Tower card. So what's interesting about this is that the Knight of Pentacles is someone who's like kind of careful and like planning and who's like really, you know, careful about stuff. And then the Ace of Swords is talking about like a beginning where you're kind of starting like with this new idea, right? And then the Two of Swords talks about like how that didn't really work out. You kind of refused to change. And then with the Five of Cups, this can talk about how this kind of broke you, like emotionally. And then the Tower is like, oh, everything's falling apart. So it really does seem like you thought you had it together with this Knight of Pentacles here. And you were like, yeah, I'm ready for this. I'm gonna start. But then I feel like you slowly realized that you weren't. And I feel like, you know, this kind of forced you to change even though you didn't want to. And that kind of started this whole process of like, oh, you're going through all this pain, you're kind of dealing with that pain, and you're starting over with the tower here because like everything kind of broke down. So, um, pretty much it's like you manifested this, you wanted it, but it required some type of change for this to happen. And maybe you went through certain stuff, but it was kind of meant to happen, not like in a sense of you were meant to go through pain, but you were meant to change, is what I'm trying to say here. And with your patience and the loyalty that you have to your guides and to yourself, even, you were able to make that change, which you didn't really think was possible. So that's a pretty clear message here. I'm gonna pull some messages from another Oracle deck. You got Morning Star. Keep shining even when the others have quit. So it's like, yeah, you didn't quit on yourself. You just kept going, you kept moving forward. You kind of, I think you knew that you had to change that, but you just avoided it. But this kind of forced it to happen, right? And you kept looking at the positive side, you kept trusting your guides, you kept having patience because you wanted this change to happen. And your dreams are telling you that it is kind of time because you put in all the work that you had to do before that happened. Your next card is Boundaries. It says put a ring around yourself and your energies. So maybe you had to learn how to put up boundaries. Boundaries that'll like help you in a way um deal with like whatever you had to let go. It could be old habits, it could be people, it could be emotions, it could be pain. Like even pain from your past can be something you had to let go. And it's kind of like the boundaries are here to be like, oh, no, like I need to stop doing this. I need to start focusing on what I need to focus on and what I want to work on because I want everything good in life. And I'm going to put effort into that. And I think your guides are kind of saying here that um, that you did all the work for sure. But like those boundaries definitely helped you as well to heal. You got evolved with the cosmic potential flows through you. So again, it's kind of like um you it's like this whole change thing keeps popping up here. So you probably did have to change so much about yourself that you didn't realize that you had to. Maybe it's not even something that you wanted to do. Well, I mean, definitely not, because you kind of avoided it here. But it's something that happened, and I feel like you see the light at the end of the tunnel here with the change that you had to make. And um, it evolved you into something better. You know, with metamorphosis there, it says power and strength lie within our surrender to change. And you did surrender. You did kind of like let go from fighting back. And it did cause like everything to kind of like fall apart for a bit, but then you slowly realized like, hey, this is actually for the better. This is what needed to happen. And that's fine. Um, because at the end of the day, you're receiving something. Like it's time for that spiritual awakening, that those new gifts, those new that new abundance that you've been trying to manifest in whatever you have been trying to manifest. It's basically like now is the time for that because you put in the work that you had to. And I think that's what your dreams are trying to tell you and your guides. So, I mean, like really good job, Pile One. Like you put in the work. You're going to get what you want, basically. Um, so there's like really nothing negative to say here except for like maybe the pain that you went through. But yeah, that's the end of your reading, Pile One. That was pretty straightforward. I hope the rest of your day goes well, and I hope you're very excited for this, these new stuff that you're about to get. If you did like the reading, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to purchase a personal reading, my Etsy is linked down below. But thank you for watching. Hi, Pile 2, welcome to your reading. So you got the card called Dream Incubation. So I wanted to read a bit from the guidebook first, and then I'll move into Oracle and Tarot. So for your card, it says the dreamer has scripted the life he wants to experience and stepped into that reality in the dream time. A couple keywords here are escapism, lost in fantasy, dissatisfaction, creating your reality, taking tangible steps towards the life you want to live. So it's kind of like you're escaping into your dreams, and that's something that it's like your dream life because you're not happy with the way that you are now. Um, this can either be seen as a positive thing or a negative thing, depending on like what the overall message is. But let's pull some oracle cards, and that'll probably determine that. Oh, that came out immediately. So it says, Spirit Self, be who you are as you are. I kind of want to get one more. Okay, this one also came out. It says, Women supporting women. Together we can transcend our individual limitations. So this doesn't necessarily mean that you are like a woman, but the energy of togetherness and like not being alone is basically what that can kind of entail. Let's pull some more oracle cards. You got the Fox card with alertness. You got the Crane card with freedom. Let me try to move everything here. Let me see if that fits. Okay, just barely. Okay, it seems like maybe you can't be yourself. So you escaped your dreams to basically be yourself in your dreams. And with women supporting women, it talks about individual limitations there. So it's kind of like you kind of want to escape reality to go into your dreams. And that's the reason why you got this card here where it talked about that. And with alertness and freedom, it's kind of like you have to battle between like being on edge and also being free. And I think you go to your dreams to be free. And that's pretty much, like what these cards are saying now. Um, Let me pull some tarot cards and then maybe we can get more information there. So I'll be right back. Okay, pile two. So it seems like you're being put through a test and it's kind of testing like your comfort level versus trying something new here. With the Eight of Swords here, it's kind of like this whole testing. And then the Page of Wands, it's kind of like you have to learn how to be more comfortable in the way that you are. You also got the Seven of Wands there. You got the Five of Pentacles. You got the Seven of Swords, which is all very. I'd say it's kind of like these cards aren't that great, honestly. Where it seems like a lot of pain is involved in this test. But with the Queen of Wands at the end, it's kind of like it's meant for you to take as a lesson to learn how to be confident in yourself and like your passions. So it's kind of like your dreams are a way for you to escape and like to kind of show you the Queen of Wands here, where you have to like you're not battling this alertness here, like you know this negativity. You're allowed to be free. And that even is at the end here. There's like two type of like freedom related cards where it kind of changes from alertness, like all of this to freedom. And like even your guides are saying be who you are. Um with women supporting women, uh I'm kind of getting that maybe this is like a trans thing for some of you guys. It's not necessarily, for everyone, but I am getting that feeling. For others, it can just be like you're not comfortable in your own skin, you're not very confident, or you're um, you don't like your home life even. Maybe you're just not very confident in yourself, and there is a need to like kind of work on that. Um, and you go to your dreams to kind of like be yourself and be free. And I think you really need to focus on your freedom, not what other people think of you, because you're putting that limitation on yourself. This card talks about individual limitation, and that can be something that you put on yourself as well. Um, so yeah, like this is a whole journey and a lesson for you. It's a test for you to like see and learn the lessons that you need to learn so that you can be free. But let's get a few closing oracle cards here. Your first one is North Star. It says, hold your ground and shine bright and unwavering. So I think for some of you, this is about your North Node. The South Node, if I'm saying this correctly, is like where you kind of are now, and you're meant to move towards your North Node. Sorry. um. But it says like shine brightly, and I think it's like, the whole freedom thing here again, where you're meant to be comfortable and not really give a crap about like other people and like what they think. Dream, it says wish upon a star. So for some of you, this can be like your dream. Again, we're talking about dreams here, but you go into your dream to actually do what you want and be who you want to be. And I think that just kind of confirms that there. You got the sun. It says rise to the occasion. Again, it's like you need to find your light. You need to let your light shine, and you need to like let it out. Because, living in this darkness where you're not comfortable being who you want to be is not helping you in any way. It's actually hurting you. So you should find that healing, and you should work on that, because you do deserve, happiness and to be who you want to be. And that's like what your dreams and your guides are telling you here. So you don't constantly have to live in like alertness. You can find that freedom and be calm and be happy. But yeah, Pile 2, that's your reading. I hope that message is pretty clear for you. If you did like this reading, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you would like a personalized reading, my Etsy is linked down below. But thank you for watching. Okay, Pile 3, welcome to your reading. I wanted to read from the guidebook first, and then I'll move into tarot and oracle. So for this card here, the Nightmare Rewrite, it says a skeleton sits meditating on the transformation from bones to spirit. The fear of death dangles over its head like a black widow spider. In its hand is the blue lotus flower used by Egyptian magi to connect to the dream time. The skeleton finds peace in the fact that there is nothing to fear. It is already dead, and so no further harm can come to it. A couple keywords here are resolution of duality, transforming fear behind the veil, and heightened awareness. So initially it just kind of seems like maybe you're facing your fears in your dream, and you're kind of like being comfortable with growing over that fear. But let's pull some oracle cards that will give us more information. First one here is distorted desire. Conscious desire rarely satisfies the unconscious need driving it. So for some of you, maybe that's causing the nightmare. Like you're wanting something, but it's not really what you want. You got Melting Mask. It says, allow your spirit self to shine through the many roles you fulfill. So for some of you, again, it's like this thing that you don't really want, or you don't truly want. And it's kind of, I think it's saying that it's like melting away. This one kind of fell. This one is Raccoon. It says generosity. Let's do one more. You got the Lion with raw power. Okay, so again, and just getting the same message here where you're wanting something, but it's not actually what you want. And I think like that line between the two is kind of fading here. Where you kind of do step into like what you should be manifesting and you should want. And I think the generosity here is talking about how your guys are kind of helping you with this and they're going to be very generous. I'm going to pull a few tarot cards and I'll be right back. Okay, pile 3. So you got Anant, which is exclusive to this deck actually. Then you got the 9 of Pentacles. You got the 4 of Cups here, the 2 of Wands, and the Tower card. So Anant in this deck means like infinity. It's like a cycle. And you got the 9 of Pentacles here, which is about like really luxury and like abundance and everything. And the 4 of Cups here, it's like you're not really seeing something. You're not seeing something that's kind of like meant for you. It's kind of like maybe you're taking something for granted that you're not really aware of. But it's like hidden in the leaves, right? So it's something that is there for you to like get. With the 2 of Wands, it can be like a decision that you have to make. Are you going to be staying in your comfort or are you trying something new? And with the Tower, it's like if you do decide, oh, I think no matter what, things are going to fall apart. So you either decide to actually do this now and make that change, or your guides will do it for you. There is no in between here. Um, but it's your guides are trying to give you something. Like the 9 of Pentacles here is a really good card. And then with the 4 of Cups, you're just not really seeing it. But you have to make a change. And I feel like you're going to be forced to change even though you don't want to. With a knot here like infinity, it's kind of like um, infinite abundance. It just kind of goes into each other. But there is a need to like kind of rewrite, change, rewrite. And you're, you know, you're wanting something, but it's not meant for you. Because it's not really what you want. And like the line between those two is melting. But you're going to be given a lot of like generosity here and raw power even. Because you'll be yourself more and you'll do what you want. And you'll get what's actually meant for you. Let's get some oracle cards. love. So to the moon and back. For some of you, this can be about love. Maybe you're manifesting, independence or something like that. But in reality, love is trying to find you. Sorry, I got some noise, but you got the Discover card here with spot new opportunities, and you got the Four of Cups here, which is basically talking about the same thing. So I think that's kind of funny. Let's get one more. You got the Sun. I feel like a lot of piles have gotten this today. So rise to the occasion, like you're meant for more. And with these new opportunities, like you don't really see them, but they're meant for you and you're supposed to reach them. So I think your dreams are telling you they're kind of like nightmares if you kind of see that, because it's not what you want. But like deep inside of you, you know what you really want. So it's kind of like everything's melting here to kind of like show you. That's why it's like rewriting itself. You're meant to see what you actually need to get in life and not what you desire at the moment. And for some of you, it is love. But it could also be self love. It doesn't necessarily have to be other people. But whatever you're kind of fighting in terms of love is basically what you're meant to have. So I hope that message finds you well, pile 3. And if you did like this reading, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like a personalized reading, my Etsy is linked down below. But thank you for watching.